Good evening and welcome to the SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series race at Texas. Tonight it is the first round of the playoffs, so this means that this is the wild card round. And normally for a normal broadcast I'd show you who's qualifying, but right now it's probably best if I explain the playoff system while qualifying is going on right now at the moment. In the SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series, we have a NCAA March Madness tournament style playoff bracket for the for our playoff drivers. So the first round, which is at Texas, will be mostly a battle between Sean Rowe and Michael Deitch, and Keelan Belsha and Adam A. Rowe. Those are going to be our drivers to watch out for here at Texas. So it's going to be whoever of those two matchups finishes ahead of each other at this race. So, for example, if Keelan Belsha finishes ahead of Adam Boyles and Sean Rowe finishes ahead of Michael Deitch, then Keelan Belsha and Sean Rowe advance, since they won their matchup, and it's gonna be sort of like that for the rest of the season, or the rest of the playoffs. This is just basically the wild card round. So for everyone else, this is a normal race, but for 4 drivers tonight looking to get their way into the playoffs, this is a big race. This is a race that you cannot afford to mess up on. So looking at James Thurston right now, he's on pole with a 29.799, exactly tied with James R. Bomar. So very close qualifying times between the top two. Let's see. Currently looking at Caleb McKinney right now, coming to set his fastest lap. And notice how wide Texas is. This is the newer configuration of Texas compared to the standard cookie cutter 1.5 mile. Different bankings, different amounts of banking on each end of the track here at Texas to make it a little bit of an asymmetrical track. And Caleb McKinney just invalidated his lap time by slamming the wall, so his qualifying run is over. But like I said, the drivers that you have to watch out for is let's see, let me get my list up real quick. Give me one quick second. Is Sean Rowe, Michael Deitch, Keelan Belsha, and Adam Boyles. So 1 minute of qualifying left. Andretti Robinson is running around and doing laps. Let me just, there we go. So he's setting some practice times, and everyone has set a qualifying time. So with this amount of time left, let's go through your starting lineup. Let's see. Okay, in row number 1 on pole is the 96 of James Thurston. On his outside is the 201 at James Bomar. He's been having all sorts of issues getting in wrecks the past couple of races. This will be one of those races he'll try to turn it around. Starting in row 2 in position number 3, Cole Denton finished, I believe, 3rd last week at Phoenix. So looking to capitalize on a good run, and another good driver, Andretti Robinson, on his outside in row number 2. Row number 3, the 460 of Edwin Mendez with Adam Contreras in the 92 on his outside. Row number 4 has Van Drummond on the inside with Dominic Barbagallo on his outside. Starting off, row number 5 is the 88 of Connor Zola, and one of the drivers you need to watch out for in the wild card, Sean Rowe, in that number 99. First driver starting outside the top 10 is the number 6, or in row number 6 is the number 48 of Nicholas Martinez Jr. He had a shot at winning at Phoenix last weekend, but it did not go his way. Jonathan T. Baker in the 36 starts on his outside. Starting on the inside of row number 7 is Riley Marabello making a start here. And Jacob A. Wilkerson sat on pole last week and all the way back in 14th tonight. On the inside of row number 8 is Amir Bascombe in the 20 with Evan Allen on his outside. On the inside of row number 9 is Henry Kaloff and Shockey Tarpley. Starting off row number 10 is the 91 of Aaron Schugel, and on his outside is the 8 of Daniel Rivera. One of the drivers you need to watch out for the first car starting outside the top 20 is the number 57 of Michael Deitch, and Wyatt Roberts is on his outside. Another wildcard driver to watch out for, Keelan Belsha, starts on the inside of row 12 with Killen McKinney on his outside. Aiden McNeely on the inside of row number 13, and Adam A. Boyles on the outside of Aiden McNeely. So that will wrap up your people to watch for playoff contention. The name of this race is the Free Sami Yaya 180, and the man of the hour, Sami Yaya, is starting on the inside of row 14 in the number 49. Riley Garcia starts on his outside in the number 40. Juan Escamilla in the number 86 starts on the inside of row number 15, and Corey Lyle starts on the outside in the number 56. Spencer Morris in row 16 starting on the inside with Carson Marenka on his outside. And starting all the way in last in row 17 is the number 14 of Michael Kenner. So that wraps up your qualifying order. But like I said, this is more of a battle style of a playoff, or more accurately, a wild card. So it's whoever finishes ahead of the person they're against. So, for example, Sean Rowe is against Michael Deitch. So if Sean Rowe finishes ahead of Michael Deitch, he will make it into the playoffs, irrespective of Keelan Belsha and Adam Boyles. And vice versa as well. If Deitch finishes ahead of Sean Rowe, then he gets in as the wild card. The owner of this league, Mr. Alex Schumacher, is not afraid of trying new things, and this is definitely a new way to take on the playoff format. Definitely more of a conventional ball sports playoff style, but it'll be interesting to see how this works out. Definitely going to be a lot more to cover next week, when instead of just the wild card, it will be the playoffs fully starting and everyone's going against each other. So, but the pace car lights are off, getting ready to do 120 laps here at Texas, and James Thurston will lead the way, continuing a very strong season from that number 96. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Let me crank up the audio just a little bit. Uh, all right, the pace car dives it into pit lane, and we are about to go green. Green flag is out here at Texas for the beginning of the free Sami 180. James Thurston and Cole Denton with a very good start ahead of James Bomar, who didn't really have any help, so both of them take an early lead. Cole Denton clear of that number 20 as the field fans out this very wide track. Looks like no one trying to make it 3 wide just yet, but that can change at any moment. Looks like a little bit of 3 wide action towards the back, but James Thurston, no opposition at the moment. He will lead the first lap of this race, and Cole Denton looking to make an impact on the playoffs here. And the caution is already out on lap 2. We'll have to see what that is for. As that's the damaged Juan Escamilla, so let's get a replay on that. Just 1 second. So coming out of turn number 4, it looks. So we're looking at Sean Boyles right now. It looks like 4 wide for mid-pack position. The 49 gets squeezed to the bottom. That's the 49 of Sami Yaya. And that shoves the 21 of McNeely into Boyles. And then that got him all crossed up. And McNeely hard hit into Juan Escamilla. Nothing Escamilla could do. And then the 42 of Roberts is involved. I believe that's the 050 of Carson Marenka also getting in. But this is big for our wild card contender, Adam Boyles, who really did not need this in his effort against Keelan Belsha. Sorry, I had a little bit of a brain fade. But a very quick caution here at Texas. Your top 5 more or less stays the same right now. James Thurston, Cole Denton, James Bomar, Andretti Robinson, and Edwin Mendez. He's made his way up into the top 5. So good showing. Good showings very early on from those drivers. As I get a Discord message. Sorry about that. Pacing under caution this next time by the pace car should turn its lights off, and we should be going back green flag racing pretty soon here. But multiple cars are already laps down. Juan Escamilla in the 86 is 1 lap down. And stand by for just 1 second, because I have to make sure of something real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to make sure whether we had fast repairs or not. So we do not have fast repairs. So I think Juan Escamilla's race might be done on lap number 4, but you never know. That's a pretty banged up number 86, and that's some heavy right front damage. But James Thurston electing to choose the outside line here on the restart. Interesting decision, since Texas is normally, at least as far as I know, a track where the bottom is a lot more rewarding than the top. But James Thurston also is a lot more skilled than I am. So take my word with a little bit of salt, as these are the real drivers here. Pace car lights are off, and the pace car has pulled into pit lane, getting ready to go green for our first restart. Green flag is out. Good start by Thurston. Cole Denton caught sleeping just a little bit, and Thurston pulls out to a pretty hefty lead, already fanning out. I believe that's the 99 of Sean Rowe all the way on the bottom, making it 3 wide near the back. Yeah, that's Sean Rowe in the Daniel Suarez car. Adam Contreras making it 3 wide for a second, but it goes to just 2 wide. Can't get a run entering the corner. Lots of very close racing here on this restart. This is what we love to see here at Texas. But coming back to the lead, James Thurston has pulled out to about a 3 car length lead over Cole Denton right now. But right now, what I'm seeing is that's a car on the inside wall. That is Andretti Robinson. That's Andretti Robinson getting really loose off the corner. I wasn't too sure on how these cars were handling, but it seems like. Caution's out. Oh, that's the 45 with a lot of damage. The 57. That's Deitch. He's in the wild card. And he just got T-boned. Good Lord. What I was going to say is I was unsure of how these cars are handling, so I didn't get a good look at them in practice. But it seems like they are a lot more loose than they are tight. So stand by for just one moment while we get a replay on what happened. So we're looking at Amir Bascombe right now. It looks like Daniel Rivera on the inside clips the apron a little bit. That car gets tight, and he doesn't have a whole lot of room to go, but up into that number 45 of Amir Bascombe. And then Henry Califf had to check up a little bit to avoid it, and he gets a bump from Caleb McKinney, and that puts Caloff into Bascombe. Hard hit for Bascombe. And that's Andretti Robinson and Michael Deitch trying to avoid it. Sideswipes. That's Sami Yaya. That's gonna be a black flag from iRacing for sliding in the pit lane. Hopefully he gets it cleared, but hard hit to the outside for Michael Deitch. As the 14, I don't know who that is. Oh, that's Michael Kenner. Not doing the best job of holding his brakes. As that's another wild card driver in it, Keelan Belsha, in the number 18 with a lot of left front damage. So the first two cautions has involved every wildcard driver except for Sean Rowe. As Adam Boyles got in a wreck, Michael Deitch and Keelan Belsha got in accidents. So Sean Rowe has to be sitting rather pretty right now, knowing that his main opponent, which is Michael Deitch, is currently heavily damaged and probably off the pace. That's a lot of front and side, especially right front damage, that's probably going to make the car very tight, if not maybe crab down the straights a little bit. But I guess you could say the battle between Keelan Belcher and Adam Boyles, the playing field might have leveled a little bit now that they've both been in some accidents. I'm not saying to, you know, right at home as a Sean Rowe guaranteed entry, but we still have over 100 laps left here at Texas, and anything can happen in these races. But I think Sean Rowe can just let it ride for right now, considering that his car is completely clean, and his rival Michael Deitch right now is, well, let's see if we can get a better close-up view. Yeah, that right front is just a little bit punched in. That's definitely going to affect the handling of this car, because handling damage is modeled in iRacing. So let's get back to a TV camera. As a little bit of bumper tag under caution, never hurt anybody. But pace car lights are off. Getting ready for the 1 to green. James Thurston has chosen the outside line, and your current top 5 is James Thurston, Cole Denton, James Bomar, Van Drummond, and Connor Zola. Connor Zola up into the top 5, so a good showing from him so far. Cole Denton has proven that, at least on these short runs, he can hang with the 96. And Van Drummond, he didn't show up the past couple races, but he's made his way up into this top 5, and he's done it in a rather quick fashion, considering how most of the race so far has been under caution. So coming to the second restart of the day, coming to lap 13 out of 120 here at Texas. Pace car is going to pull in at any given moment. Pace car is in, and it's up to James Thurston to lead the way. Green flag is out. Good start by Thurston. Looks like Bomar having a little bit of internet issues, blinking out a little bit. This allows Cole Denton to get a good start, and Cole Denton clears Bomar, but now he'll have to hold off that number 2 of Van Drummond right behind him. As the field spreads out just a little bit, got some 3-wide action. That's Sean Rowe thinking about making it 3 wide. But that's Jacob Wilkerson making it 3 wide for about 10th spot. Maybe a little bit of contact with that 17, but no harm, no foul as cars bounce off the wall. Getting really close through the dogleg here. Cars pinching each other like crazy. As Dominic Barbagallo runs a little high, running. That's the 36 of Baker up the track a little bit. So lots of contact on this restart already, but looks like nothing bad has happened just yet. As we go back to our leader, James Thurston, who's pulling to about a 2.5 car length lead, as Van Drummond looking to the inside of Bomar. Not clear yet, but he's going to have Adam Contreras and Connor Zola knocking on his door anytime soon, as Connor Zola looking to make a charge on the outside line. Oh, it looks like Drummond got a little loose on that inside line. He's going to have to side draft with the 88 to try to kill some of that momentum. And this will bring Adam Contreras into this mix for 5th position. But what I'm really curious about is the effect that this will have on Connor Zola's tires, as I'm sure running higher up will probably burn that right rear more, and these cars are definitely loose on exit. but they are getting really close with each other as the caution comes out as I speak. I believe Carson Marenko might have been in it. But so let's get another look real quick. Give me one quick second. So looking at turns 3 and 4, this is a battle between Michael Kenner and Spencer Morris. Looks like Kenner just clips the apron a little bit, gets loose, and tries to catch the car, but unfortunately Spencer Morris is right there. Hard contact for the both of them. Right in front of three wildcard drivers, as I believe Michael Kenner may have alt F4'd. But unfortunate break for Spencer Morris. I don't know if this is his first start in SRL, but it's not off to a good start, as he has a lot of front end damage from the 14 getting into him. But we'll probably have some more caution, so he'll have ample opportunity to get all of that damage repaired. So it looks like it was just a 2-car incident between Michael Kenner and Spencer Morrison. Michael Kenner seems to have disconnected from the session, so almost as if it was an admission of guilt. So James Thurston is still your leader, and much of the same in the top 5. Under caution right now: Thurston, Denton, Bomar, Zola, and Drummond. Nicholas Martinez Jr. has made his way up into 7th position, so a very good showing from him. Jacob Wilkerson has made his way up from something like the 14th row up to 8th. So he's showing that speed that he has, and he could be up front any time now. It's probably just a matter of time before we see him vying for the lead. Still under caution here. Looks like we probably have about 2 laps to green. And this time by will mark 100 laps to go. And it looks like Thurston already opting to choose the outside lines. It looks like maybe he gets better starts on the outside line, or maybe that's just what he's more comfortable with. But you'd assume that through the dog leg, the inside line would be better since you could take the shorter way around. But I'm just an announcer. I'm not the one driving these things. Know that there isn't really a whole lot to say on lap 20 under caution, especially with the 2-car incident. But let's see where our wildcard drivers are right now. Sean Rowe is currently in 11th at the moment. He's the highest of the wildcard drivers, and his current rival right now is Michael Deitch, who's all the way in 24th, and the remaining wildcard drivers are right in front of him. So Adam Boyles and Keelan Belsha are definitely in a little bit of a cat and mouse race against each other, since whoever finishes ahead of the other person will make it into the wildcard round. And let me see if I can pull up a chart showing who the winner of this battle will go up against. So, the winner of the battle between... Actually, I think I could save this for the next caution, because I believe they are about to go... Yeah. So, I'll explain who battles who the next caution period, if we get another caution period, to give a better rundown on what happens on the next round after this. But pace car is in, waiting for James Thurston on the outside line to go. Green flag is out. Good start by the 96. Cole Denton not able to clear James Bomar, so Denton with not as good a start. Connor Zola with an equally bad start. That's Van Drummond all over the back end of James Bomar. Little bit of contact between the 20 and the 46, but no harm, no foul, as Bomar clears himself of Denton with a big push from Van Drummond. Van Drummond in third, looking to go to second. Now Cole Denton under attack from the outside from Adam Contreras, as Connor Zola not doing him any favors, not giving him any help push-wise, as Connor Zola starts to fade back a little bit, as there's Jacob Wilkerson and Nicholas Martinez, as three wide. Connor Zola fading back very quickly, as Adam Contreras makes the move on Cole Denton around the outside. Nicholas Martinez trying to hang on to the side of the 43 of Wilkerson, but Wilkerson completes the pass. But Van Drummond looking all the way on the inside of James Bomar, can't mount a charge just yet, as that is that's Edwin Mendez in the 460 all the way on the bottom, as Wilkerson makes a move on Denton, and Mendez makes a move on Sean Rowe. But Wilkerson side drafting with the 46. Very close racing here, as Sean Rowe looks like he slid back a spot from Edwin Mendez, as these two cars are still side by side. Not anymore. But moving back to Sean Rowe, he's under attack now from, that's the 16 of Riley Marabello. Maybe a little bit of contact through the corners, but no damage done. These cars racing like it's the last lap on lap number 26, as Adam Contreras has made his way into fourth position, and Cole Denton may be under fire from the 43 of Wilkerson anytime soon, as Wilkerson doing a very good job of hugging that bottom line, and Denton running a little bit higher up. But Riley Marabello currently battling with Connor Zola. Connor Zola looks like he's just not having the speed he wants. He started in, I believe, fourth, and now he's dropped all the way back outside the top 10. Battling with Connor Zola right now. But near the front, Cole Denton and Jacob Wilkerson are doing battle for the fifth position. Looks like Wilkerson got to the inside of Denton, and now they are very closely side drafting. Maybe a little bit of contact between the two, as Cole Denton is eager to not give up a top 5 spot right now as we approach a quarter distance. Still side by side between the 46 and 43. Denton not giving up, as Van Drummond makes a move on James Bomar. So Drummond to the inside of Bomar. These two battling hard. This is exactly what James Thurston wants to see. If these two start battling, This gives him an ample opportunity to check out and pull away. As the 2 and the 20 getting very close together, coming down the back straight. Adam Contreras looking for a place to go. Doesn't really have many options. But it looks like Bomar not clear of Drummond just yet. So Drummond making his case on why he should stay on the inside line. He's doing a great job of holding it down there. But getting to the driver is one thing. Passing him is a whole other thing, as he might need a little bit of help from Adam Contreras. So external forces may play a factor in this battle, as Wilkerson still side by side with Denton, as Denton had a little wiggle through the corner, but kept it together, still side by side, as Van Drummond has made the pass on Bomar. Now Adam Contreras on the inside of Bomar. Not yet, but he's looking to the inside, entering the corner. Almost contact between the 20 and the 92, and now things have single file, or have singled out to single file right now between this top 7-8 cars. But Cole Denton and James Bomar under attack right now from the inside line. James Bomar under pressure from Adam Contreras, and Cole Denton under pressure as Adam Contreras is having big internet issues, which stacks up Wilkerson a little bit. I think Wilkerson had to back out of it to avoid getting any internet-related issues, as 3 wide between Bomar, Denton, and Adam Contreras. As Denton shoots the middle, as in closer towards the back, I believe that's Riley Marabello battling with Edwin Mendez for 9th position. But besides this battle, it's very singled out right now. And as I say that, Adam Contreras making it 3 wide on Cole Denton and James Bomar. James Bomar using all the track up top to get a good run off the corner. And he's going to pull side by side with Cole Denton, as Van Drummond works on tracking down that number 96. Denton running a little higher than I think Bomar's comfortable with. But Bomar clears Denton through the dogleg, as Wilkerson looks to go through the middle, making it 3 wide. But Denton slides up a little bit and blocks. That's going to lose him a lot of momentum, as that's Marabello hard into the wall in front of Mendez and I believe Jonathan Baker. Hard hit by that 16 into that outside wall. Might have slid just a little bit. But now Nicholas Martinez Jr. has been passed by wildcard driver Sean Rowe, as James Bomar is still committed to running all the way up top, as the battle is brewing for the lead here. It has been brewing. I apologize for not catching that. I was so caught up with what was happening in positions like 3rd through 8th that I failed to realize that Van Drummond had passed James Thurston for the lead. So maybe Thurston is playing it a little bit passive and hoping that Drummond has used up his stuff catching him. But Riley Marabello on the inside of the 48, getting real close together, but no contact made between the two, as they are side by side through the dogleg. This is a battle for 8th position, as Marabello might have the preferred line. Yeah, big wiggle out of the 48. So grip is definitely going to be coming at a high price for these drivers, as Jonathan Baker looking to capitalize on the 48's slip up James Bomar to the inside of the 43 of Wilkerson for the third position, as Wilkerson backs off pretty early and lets Bomar in. Lots of position swapping here. Sorry, I had to do some ATV over real quick. But it looks like the field has almost entirely singled out, but we have some battles in midfield right now, as Shockey Tarpley looking to the inside of Nicholas Martinez Jr. So Shockey Tarpley and the number 25 can't get it done on the number 45. Or on the number 48. I don't know why I said number 45. As that's Edwin Mendez in the back, under fire from Caleb McKinney for 14th position. There's Connor Zola, who started in third on that latest restart. But now we're getting to classic Texas racing. But with single file racing, except in the back, as Adam Boyles is under fire from the 60 of Andretti Robinson. These two racing hard. Only one of these drivers is a wildcard driver, that being Adam Boyles. But he has Keelan Belshaw right behind him, as big slide from the 60 of Andretti Robinson. I think Boyles will do anything to get a car between him and that 18. And up near the front, it has definitely strung out a little bit, as James Thurston has a 1.2 second gap behind Van Drummond, who has started to pull away. As Sean Rowe looking to the inside of Cole Denton right now, and Cole Denton gives him the spot. So maybe Sean Rowe might have done a better job saving his tires, as Cole Denton spent a lot of his time trying to hold people off from the outside, as there's 3 wide in the back with Caleb McKinney, Shockey Tarpley, and Dominic Barbagallo, as cars dive into pit lane. That's Riley Mirabello entering pit lane. I don't know what the fuel situation is for these cars at this track, but we might just see the beginnings of pit road strategy, as Van Drummond has opened up about a 2-second gap over James Thurston. Yeah, Martinez and Tarpley are in pit lane, as Mirabello has exited pit lane. But looking at wildcard driver Sean Rowe right now in that number 99. His rival is the 57 of Michael Deitch, who is, let's see if I can see him, in 20th place right now. So I think Sean Rowe just has to wind down these laps, and he will be, and he will advance since he will beat Michael Deitch. But anything can happen at Texas, especially with the way that these cars are handling. They're all sliding all, they were sliding all over the place. But now the question is, when are the leaders going to come into pit lane? Because Van Drummond is on seemingly another level, but all it takes is one speeding penalty or one mishap on pit road to throw that into a whole new level of drama. as Jonathan Baker has exit pit lane. So definite disparities on pit road strategies between drivers. This is what we love to see here. Green flag racing with pit stops. Might not cause the most the craziest battles, but I remember, I think it was last year at Michigan when we had pit stops play out in a crazy final battle between Van Drummond and if I'm not mistaken, Jordan Kuntz. But coming to lap number 50 out of 120. So about 10 laps away from halfway, as Van Drummond has opened up a almost 3-second gap between him and James Thurston. But currently Henry Kaloff was battling with wildcard driver Keelan Belsha. And Keelan Belsha's opponent is that 22 of Adam Boyles, who's currently running in 8th, as James Thurston has pulled into pit lane along with Edmund Mendez. So now the car in second place is the 43 of Van Drummond. So Van Drummond pulls into pit lane. Looks like a very nice and orderly entrance into pit lane. So I didn't see any lockup, so I don't think that he sped. So a very calm and composed pit entrance for the currently dominant Van Drummond, but that could all change at the drop of a hat here. And let's get someone who's currently not on pit lane, as Connor Zola is entering pit lane. Riley Garcia, haven't talked about him a lot, in that number 40, currently running in P7 at this moment. So your current leader, and this would be very helpful for his point situation, is the 99 of Sean Rowe, as he slows down for pit lane. No need to try anything crazy, as Adam Boyles and Riley Marabello side by side, but Adam Boyles leads this lap, as he's probably going to be one of the last cars to pit under green flag conditions during this cycle, since it seems like he's stretched it out quite the distance. As Evan Allen got on the wall a little bit, almost took out, that's the 2 of Van Drummond. What drama that would have been if Van Drummond got taken out by Allen bouncing off the wall, but luckily he did not. Currently looking at Nicholas Martinez Jr., who's right behind the 2 of Van Drummond. And I mentioned earlier that the name of this race was the Free Sami Yaya 180. And Sami Yaya, despite being in almost every caution so far, none of it really was his fault, but still, he was still involved in them, has made his way up to 6th place under this pit cycle right now. I don't think that he's pit just yet, and I think he might be off pace compared to other drivers. But Evan Allen has pulled into pit lane, as Adam Boyles looking to stretch it out until it's dry. He's got 4 seconds on the next driver behind him, Henry Kaloff. So he's got quite the buffer between the 2. And wildcard driver Keelan Belsha has pulled into pit lane. He's getting his pit his pit stop's done. And I believe the first car that has pitted is the number 20 of Bomar, who pitted earlier than everyone else. So we're just waiting for everyone else to come in a pit lane, everyone who hasn't come in a pit lane just yet. Everyone doing a very good job of keeping this green flag pit stop very clean. Looks like no cautions just yet to cause any major drama or shakeups. As Adam Boyles clips the wall a little bit as he was getting lapped by the 91 of Aaron Schugel. Or not getting lapped, as he was letting Aaron Schugel by. As we look at James Thurston making a move on the 25 of Shockey Tarpley. So there is about a second separating Van Drummond and James Thurston. So that gap has shrunk down considerably as Van Drummond makes his move around Riley Marabello. And Henry Kaloff has pulled into pit lane from the third position. So it seems like the three cars who have stayed out until it's dry is currently Riley Garcia, Adam Boyles, and Sami Yaya. So we have Van Drummond catching up to James Bomar. So this is basically for the de facto lead once Sami Yaya, Riley Garcia, and Adam Boyles pits. And Drummond is a couple laps fresher tires than Bomar. So I think Bomar is going to let him have it pretty easily. No need to go crazy on a car that is much faster than you tire-wise. So Van Drummond has made his move on James Bomar. As in the back, James Thurston and Jacob Wilkerson try to get around Riley Marabello, and they do. So now Van Drummond is pulling in Sami Yaya for third place, as Yaya gives him more than enough room to let him by. And now the only two cars separating Van Drummond in the lead is Riley Garcia and Adam Boyles. We are over halfway as we hit lap number 64 out of 120. Thought this might have been a caution festival, but the wide nature of Texas has allowed it to thin out rather quickly. As Adam Boyles definitely gonna lead a good chunk of this race, considering just how long he's stayed out. Just makes me wonder when he's going to come into pit lane. For comparison, he's about 0.3 slower per lap compared to Van Drummond. So, no matter which way you scratch it, Drummond is going to catch Adam Boyles, even if Adam Boyles ran the fuel lines through the roll cage or something to stretch it out all the way. As Boyles finally pulls into pit lane, so this leads Riley Garcia to be the last car to pit. Riley Garcia will lead lap number 67 out of 120. in that number 40 Coors Light car. So now really the only car separating Van Drummond from the lead is that number 40, who will have to come in any time now. And Van Drummond is currently running about 1.5 seconds faster than Riley Garcia. So I think it would be in Garcia's interest to pit pretty soon. But looking at basically our current leader, whenever Riley Garcia decides to pit Van Drummond, he has a 1.7 second gap over the next car, James Thurston, who's currently being hounded by the 43 of Jacob Wilkerson. I've noticed too much craziness from the 43, or too much urgency to get past that 96. Maybe they're hoping that if they work together, they can catch the number 2, as a little bit of contact between the 96 and the 15. 96 runs the 15 down just a little bit to show his displeasure, but it looks like that didn't damage the 96 at all. The 15 was just being a lot slower than the 96 expected. That's definitely not helping out his efforts to try and catch the number 2, as Riley Garcia has come into pit lane. So your current leader right now is Van Drummond, who has a 2.5 second gap over James Thurston, as Jacob Wilkerson looking to the inside of Thurston, as Thurston scrapes the wall a little bit. And that will hand second place over to Jacob Wilkerson in the 43, who is going to try and chase down Van Drummond. I don't know if the damage on that number 96 is a lot more mechanical than visual, but I did not expect that move to be made so quickly. Highest running wildcard driver at the moment is currently Sean Rowe, in that number 99, running a very respectable P5, while his opponent Michael Deitch is currently in 23rd spot, damaged and off the pace. Oh, excuse me. Damaged and off the pace. Let's see our other wild card battlers. Keelan Belsha in the number 18, and his opponent Adam Boyles. So about 3.5 seconds separates Boyles and Belsha, and Boyles looks like he's having a tough time getting around traffic. He's gonna have much fresher tires than Kaloff, and he's definitely not as damaged as Sami Yaya is. But it says that he's running about a second faster than Keelan Belsha, so Keelan Belsha might have to watch his mirrors for that number 22 of Boyles. But I don't think Boyles wants to burn out his tires too quickly either, since whoever finishes ahead of the other car will make it into the playoffs. Lap number 75 coming to 76 out of 120 for Van Drummond. This race has sped on by. We might have one more pit stop in the cards here. And this has got me thinking that maybe with how long Riley Garcia and Adam Boyles stayed out, maybe we could have a fuel distance race now. Now, how cool would that be? All we need is not another caution happening. And fuel distance might become a very real thing, since these cars pitted at about lap 52, I believe. So it's about lap 52. So we might have one, maybe two more stops to go here. Let me switch the ticker from lap count to laps to go. 43 laps to go here at Texas. And this is the battle for 10th place between Andretti Robinson and Jonathan Baker. Robinson almost doors Baker, but no contact made. And let's go to Cole Denton. He was running high. Big slide from that number 20 of James Bomar. This allows Cole Denton to get to the outside. And I think Bomar just has to give up the spot. Or will he? Bomar not giving up just yet. Both drivers giving each other a lot of room. But Bomar has to settle in and slide behind the number 46. As Adam Contreras and Sean Rowe are battling for the fourth spot, and they are right behind James Thurston. As Sean Rowe gets a very good run off the corner, pulls alongside that number 92. I think Contreras might have had a little bit of a slide exiting the corner, and that killed whatever momentum he had. But now Sean Rowe has moved into the fourth position. I mean, it looks like he might try to work on catching that number 96. Let's go through the field to see any other interesting things happening. Not a whole lot is happening at the moment, but Sean Rowe has gapped the number 92 of Adam Contreras, as James Bomar is pulling the pit lane on lap number 80. So it looks like about 40 laps is what these cars can take. So this is definitely going to be a fuel distance race if no more cautions cause any trouble, as Sean Rowe looking to the inside of James Thurston. Thurston bounces off the wall a little bit. No contact between the two. And Sean Rowe just barely clears James Thurston, but Thurston making a charge on the outside line. Can't get the momentum through the center of the corner. And Sean Rowe clears himself from the number 96. So that puts Sean Rowe, a wild card driver, in a podium position. And speaking of wild card drivers, let's look at Keelan Belcher. It looks like he got on the wall a little bit. I was going to see how he was in comparison to Adam Boyles, but he's about 7 seconds off or more as he pulls into pit lane. So Adam A. Boyles and Sean Rowe are going look like to be the two cars to make it if something doesn't happen. If the results stand and nothing happens, we might have Adam Boyles and Sean Rowe making it through to the next round. And I was going to mention, if there was another caution, I'd mention who they were going up against. Whoever wins the battle between Michael Deitch and Sean Rowe, which seems to be Sean Rowe considering that he's running in third right now, they'll be facing against James Thurston And whoever wins the battle between Keelan Belsha and Adam Boyles, which appears to be Adam Boyles right now, they will face off against the 46 of Cole Denton. And the way that the first round works is it's the best finish from 2 of 3 races, and those races being Iowa, Watkins Glen, and Talladega. So definitely lot of variety. I think the 2 out of 3 might have been for Talladega, because anything can happen at Talladega, more so than at Texas here. But as we look at Van Drummond, who is currently in first, about a 4.5 second gap over Jacob Wilkerson. I mean, he is just flying. He's about 1/10 faster than the rest of the people on or around his tire wear. So he just knows how to wheel that car around here. And your current top 5 is Van Drummond, Jacob Wilkerson, Sean Rowe, James Thurston, and Adam Contreras. Let's see, the battle for 10th is heating up right now, as Aaron Schugel looking to the outside of Nicholas Martinez. Maybe a little contact between the 91 and the 40 as Schugel gets into the outside wall just a little bit. Riley Garcia in that number 40 doesn't really have a whole lot to run for. He's currently lapped as the 91 pulls into pit lane along with the 60 of Andretti Robinson. So the real question is, when is Van Drummond going to pit? And this will have to be the money stop. But I'd imagine that when you have a gap of 5 seconds separating you in second place, the only driver that you really have to beat is yourself, as Sean Rowe and Adam Contreras have dove into pit lane along with Cole Den and Nicholas Martinez. As Adam Boyles has pulled into pit lane too, completely subverting my expectations. I don't think that if they stayed out the entire way, they would have made it. I think they may have been about 10 laps too short. But Van Drummond has pulled into pit lane on lap number 92, and that hands the lead to Jacob Wilkerson, who is currently under attack from the number 18 of Keelan Belsha. Looks like he unlaps himself as Wilkerson slows down to go into pit lane. So Thurston will reclaim the lead with 28 to go as he passes Jacob Wilkerson. And you never know with these late race cautions, cars on cold tires can cause lots of problems. And the speed disparity between the drivers that have fresh tires and the drivers that have old tires can be huge, as that's Van Drummond pulling out of pit lane in front of James Thurston. But Thurston pulls it into pit lane, and we might have a Connor Zola lap lead this time by, as he stays out, and looks like he will be the one to lead lap number 94. So I don't remember if there's extra points for leading a singular lap, but if so, Connor Zola definitely got it right there. So now the question is, James Thurston in relation to Van Drummond, as it seems like Van Drummond is my ATVO, my timing screen didn't update in time. I apologize. But Van Drummond has about a 3-second gap over James Bomar. And then we have to wait for Connor Zola to come into pit lane, since he's definitely stretching it very far. It's been 42 laps since his last pit stop, and he's about 1.5 seconds slower than Van Drummond, who is on fresh tires. Let's see if the and for 14th place, Aaron Schugel and Nicholas Martinez Jr. are doing battle for 14th place. Side by side between the two. Finally, nice to see some close racing as Martinez scrapes the wall just a tad. Looks like nothing big, though, as they are still side by side through turns 1 and 2. Schugel not able to clear himself from the number 40. Into turns 3 and 4. Both these drivers giving each other a lot of room, but Martinez is going to have the drive through the center of the corner to get it done, as we look at Corey Lyles in the 56. Trying to get past the 42 and the 15, as the 15 of Spencer Morris is 15 laps down. I'm not really sure what he's out there doing, but he's racing because he likes to race, and nothing can take that from him. As we look at our highest running wildcard driver right now, Sean Rowe, currently in 5th place. Connor Zola finally comes into pit lane, and he will concede the lead to Van Drummond, who has about a 5-second gap over James Bomar, who is very quickly losing time to Jacob Wilkerson and Sean Rowe. So if there are no more cautions, it looks like your top 3 might be set, as Wilkerson forces his nose on the inside of Bomar, moves him up the track a little bit. I don't think Bomar is going to be too happy with that, as that was a pretty aggressive move. As Sean Rowe looking to the inside, looking to make it 3 wide. Wilkerson giving him room, and Rose on the inside. This is for 2nd and 3rd place, as Rose slots in front of James Bomar into 3rd place, and now he'll have to work on that number 43 to get a very solid 2nd place. But Van Drummond is about a light year away from Jacob Wilkerson, as there's about 5.5 seconds that separates Drummond and Wilkerson. So it looks like the real battle is going to be for 2nd place. And speaking of battles, going back to our wild card drivers, here is Adam Boyles going 3 wide with Shockey Tarpley and Michael Deitch. I believe Deitch was pulling out of pit lane. Adam Boyles currently in 17th place, and Keelan Belsha currently in 20th. About 4 seconds separates these drivers, as Keelan Belsha has to pull into pit lane. So unless another caution happens, it looks like the 2 drivers that are going to be making it to the next round will be Sean Rowe and Adam Boyles. As Boyles looking to make a move on Caleb McKinney for the 16th position, very close between the two. And Shockey Tarpley adding himself into the mix. These drivers are racing for all they're worth when we have 18 to go for 16th position. But the fans love to see at least some racing, as Shockey Tarpley to the outside, making a look at 3 wide, backs off a little bit as Caleb McKinney slides up. And Adam Boyles cuts off the 25 to defend his position. 17 laps to go here at Texas. As I don't know why it was doing that. but I meant to go to Sean Rowe, who's currently in third. And it looks like Wilkerson has finally gone around Connor Zola, who is the first car 1 lap down in 21st position. He's not really racing for anything, so I'm not sure why he's racing second place so hard, but he's free to do what he wants. I have no right to judge him, as it's very easy to judge people when you're sitting in the commentator's box. But looks like Wilkerson and Drummond are running about equal times, but equal times when there's 15 to go is not going to make anything work. We're going to need a big mistake from the two of Drummond or a caution to come out for something to happen, as James Thurston looks to the inside of Bomar. Bomar on much more worn tires easily can seize the position. And let's go back to Adam Boyles, who's still stuck with Shockey Tarpley. So 14 laps to go. As I said about 3 minutes ago, looks like the people advancing in the wild card is going to be Sean Rowe and Adam Boyles, as Keelan Belsha is in 22nd and Adam Boyles is in 17th, and Sean Rowe's rival Michael Deitch is currently running a lap down in 24th. And Dominic Barbagallo looking to make something happen on Jonathan Baker. To the inside goes that number 17. Side by side down the back straight. This is for 11th position. Still side by side entering turn 3. Neither driver budging just an inch, as it looks like Barbagallo will have the preferred line. And yeah, Baker just did not have the run that he needed to get to Barbagallo's outside. Looks like he thought about making something work on the outside through the corner, but just doesn't have the mid-corner advantage that the inside line has. And Dominic Barbagallo has gotten past Jonathan Baker for the 11th position. As we have 11 laps to go, Van Drummond with lap traffic in front of him, I doubt that this will pose much of a problem unless a lap driver really cooks the duck and wrecks and causes a caution. 10 laps to go here at Texas, as Van Drummond has made his way around. That's the 42 of Wyatt Roberts. As we look near the back, Riley Marabello, Adam Boyles, and Shockey Tarpley are all doing battle for about 14th spot. Shockey Tarpley gets past Marabello. Now Boyles has to battle with Riley Marabello. Marabello giving him tons of room, lets him by. And now it's single file once more, as Shockey Tarpley looks to make a gap on that 22 of Adam Boyles. And then we're looking at Corey Lyles. We're going to have the battle between Riley Garcia and Evan Allen, as Evan Allen and Corey Lyles flies past Riley Garcia. So Riley Garcia definitely off cycle in terms of tire wear. As we have a battle brewing for 6th position between Cole Denton and James Bomar, as Keelan Belsha on fresher tires goes to the inside of both of them. This race is pretty inconsequential for everyone. The owner, Alex Schumacher, said that anyone who wasn't the wildcard drivers were basically the only incentive was bragging rights and team points. So Van Drummond looking to get every ounce of bragging rights that he can get as he pulls up to Riley Marabello, puts him a lap down, and looking to the inside of Michael Deitch, who lets him by without too much of an issue. Van Drummond coming to 5 laps to go here at Texas. He saw the lead once earlier in the race, getting it from James Thurston, and he was just so fast that he just never looked back. Very happy to see this very clean, very long green flag race, and I was kind of worried at the beginning that we might have had a caution fest, but it seems like for the rest of tonight's event, the cars are separated by enough distance that something would have to go real wrong for a caution to come out. Three laps to go here for Van Drummond. Less than 5 miles to go at Texas. He's pulled up to about a 6-second gap over Jacob Wilkerson, and it looks like he's making a statement. He missed the last race, if I'm not mistaken, at Phoenix. But he came back with a vengeance. 2 laps to go here, as Van Drummond just has to get to the white flag. I think what he wants to see more than anything else right now is that white flag, because once that white flag comes out, no matter if the track gets blocked, the caution is not coming out. Through turns 3 and 4, Van Drummond taking the white flag. Looks like this will end under green. White flag is out for Van Drummond in that number 2 car. 1.5 miles to go. He has a 6.5-second gap over Jacob Wilkerson. He could go half throttle and he can cruise this baby home. Acres of track between him and Shockey Tarpley, and I believe it's Evan Allen behind him. Through turns 3 and 4, Van Drummond returns to the Schumacher Racing League Blaze Designs Cup Series and wins a very dominant race here at Texas. Very impressive showing and a very nice race from everyone. As we wait for the rest of the field to complete their laps and make this an official session. A little bit of a congratulation bump from the 88 of Connor Zola. So, your people advancing from the wild card round will be the 99 of Sean Rowe, who slides it in there. Nice drift from the 99. And Adam Boyles in the number 22, finishing in 14th place. That will eliminate Michael Deitch in the 57 and Keelan Belsha in the number 18. They will not be making the playoffs. So let's get your final results here at Texas. As stated, your winner is the number 2 of Van Drummond. In second place is the 43 of Jacob Wilkerson. Sean Rowe, the highest running wildcard driver, finishes in third place. Those will be your 3 interviewees for tonight's broadcast. James Thurston, very solid run, ran up front early on, but Van Drummond pulled away, came out in 4th. Adam Contreras, lots of battling. All race comes out in P5. In P6 is Cole Denton. Then James Bomar and Andretti Robinson with a good recovery drive up to 8th spot. Dominic Barbagallo, didn't talk about him a lot all race, finishes in 9th. And Nicholas Martinez Jr. in 10th place. In 11th is the 91 of Aaron Schugel. Caleb McKinney in number 76 finishes in 12th. Jonathan Baker, then Adam A. Boyles, the other car to advance from the wild card, finishes in 14th. Shockey Tarpley, a very quiet race in 15th. Connor Zola didn't have the speed that other people had. Comes out one lap down. The first car one lap down in 16th. Then Evan Allen and Edwin Mendez, 17th and 18th place respectively. Riley Marabello drops back to 19th, and Corey Lyles rounds out your top 20. In 21st is the number 40 of Riley Garcia. Looks like he couldn't stretch out the field as much as he wanted. Keelan Belsha sadly does not advance to the playoffs in that number 18. He finishes 2 laps down. Sami Yaya, who this race is named after, finishes in 23rd. Aiden McNeely in 24th. Michael Deitch is the other car to not advance in the wild card and will finish in 25th. Wyatt Roberts in the 42. Then Carson Marenka and Spencer Morris were the last cars running. And then your first car to DNF was the 63 of Henry Kaloff in 29th. And then Michael Kenner disconnected, and he will round out in 30th position. And your last 3 cars, Daniel Rivera, Amir Bescombe, and Juan Escamilla, all involved in very early wrecks, finishing 31st, 32nd, and 33rd respectively. So, now that is out of the way, give me one moment and we will get interviews going with your top 3 drivers. Please stand by. Okay, interviews are starting up soon. Let's see if I can get our race winner Van Drummond into the booth. All right, race winner Van Drummond. He had a very dominant performance, got a taste of the lead, and then never looked back. You got a copy, brother?
I do.
So, what was the secret to the speed? I mean, you straight up outran everyone.
Tell you, I just think, I meshed well with the bottom of the track, and that's what you had to be good at the whole night, the bottom of the track. So I think that was just a recipe for success, I think, because I really like Old Texas because it's bumpy, you have to run the bottom, you have to take care of everything. Here, you got to really manage that right front. So slap it on the bottom the whole time, and you see what you get.
So, once you got a taste of the lead, did you really feel threatened by anyone, or was your biggest worry just any cautions that may have possibly came out?
There definitely was a level of, hey, if a caution comes out and this guy gets more track position, they might actually be better than me on the long run. But luckily that didn't happen, and I really don't think there was a car better than me on the long run. I was just my tires every time were with like 77, 80, 83. My tires were really stout the whole race. So, I mean, I didn't really expect this coming from this track. I don't like this track at all, but damn, I must be good at it.
Seems like it. You put on a real butt woman. Before we let you go to celebrate your win, do you have any people you want to thank?
Thank you to Shuey for letting me run the 2 again. Last season I was the number 2, and I had a 3-win season, and now the first race I had with the number 2, I go out and win. So, thanks, Shuey.
All right. Well, that is your winner, Van Drummond. He leads a very dominating race. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, thank you. See you too.
Okay, and let's see if I can get second place finisher Jacob Wilkerson into the booth. Give me 1 second. All right, I kind of stole you from your voice chat, but we got second place finisher Jacob Wilkerson. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, so it seems like the 2 was just way too fast. Was there anything you were trying to do differently to catch him, or were you just trying to drive all out and it just didn't work out in the end?
He was just way too far out there. Like, the last green flag run, I was pushing my stuff as hard as I could, and I did gain, like, a second on him. Like, I got up to, like, 4.5, and then from there, he pulled back away, and he was just way too far out there. Like, if we got, like, a late race yellow, the finish would have been more entertaining, but overall, it was a fun race.
Oh, all right. And I saw that like the past couple of races you qualified real well, but this time you didn't qualify as the trend would expect. What happened during qualifying? You just not sit down a good lap?
I choked my turn 3 and 4 on my second lap, and basically just had to start like 13th, I think, not 7th.
Well,
It's 14th, but really though, it didn't take me that long to charge through the field.
well,
Yeah.
yep. Well, regardless, you had a very good drive through the field. Before we let you go, is there any people you want to thank?
Shout out to all the people back at home watching. Thanks to Todger for letting me race for PBR, along with my teammates Sean Rowe, Contreras, Bomar, Floppa, and shout out to my partners at Race CPI and Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse. Shuey for putting the league together, and you for broadcasting, and that's it.
All right. Well, that's the number 43 of Jacob Wilkerson with a very solid second place finish. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Thank you.
And then let's see if I can get Sean Rowe. So we got the number 99 of Sean Rowe. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So you've made the playoffs. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, drove pretty clean race. Got my win. The Atlanta win helped me a little bit to get me in this position. I did what I had to do tonight. Now, man.
So, what I have to say is, were you feeling pressured at all to race really hard, knowing that you had one person that you had to beat, or were you just focused on racing the track and hoping that no cautions came out?
Once I got a pretty good qualifying position and I knew I could avoid most of the wrecks, I was just focused on basically not wrecking. Like, there was a few times where I got loose and it was pretty close, and I had to calm myself down with how I was racing, but I knew Deech was in the Hornet's nest back there, and so I really just tried staying calm, running my race, doing what I had to do, and I was able to get me up to P3 and a good finish as well. But the main thing going in this race for me was really just advancing into the playoffs.
Well, you certainly did that. Congratulations for that. What's your strategy for the playoffs now that you're in it? Because if I'm not mistaken, you'll be going up against James Thurston, and that's a tall order.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. The only strategy, I believe Iowa's up next, so I am good at short tracks compared to most tracks, so that's a good thing at least, but only strategy I can really have against Thurston is go out and win. And if I'm able to do that, maybe I'll be able to win the championship, but it's definitely a tall task against Thurston. There's a reason he's the #1 seed, and I know it's going to be tough, but, you know, Iowa presents some opportunity for me. I don't know how good he usually is there, but I know if things go my way, I can definitely beat him and maybe even win the race.
Well, I mean, if it's any encouragement, you won at Atlanta, and Talladega's in that race. So it seems like you know how to work your way around these plate tracks, especially when it is crunch time. So before we let you go, is there any people you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Zach Todder for letting me on his team. Thank Jacob Wilkerson and Aldam Contreras for giving me company to stay with during the race and shoot strategy options around with. Like to thank you guys for putting these streams up. Always good to watch back on them and see what was going on from the spectators' view. And yeah, I want to thank the league runners, Shuey, for putting up the league. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, well, that is the number 99 of Sean Rowe advancing into the playoffs with a very solid third-place finish. We'll see you next time, buddy.
See you next time.
Okay, so now that that is done with, I can set the camera to just something pretty basic. Let's see. Let's set it to the pace car. Okay. So, with that out of the way, that concludes the broadcast for the Schumacher Racing League SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway. As always, I'm your host, Garrett Hess, commentating and broadcasting this event. Of course, with lots of ticker help from SKS Graphics. If you need tickers or you need broadcast help, contact SKS Graphics. Great group of guys over there. Big thank you to Andrew Schulte for his help in making this possible. And all I have to say is get ready for next week when we head to Iowa Speedway for the first round of the playoffs. And it's going to be exciting.